Welcome to the Navigating Solo podcast, a dedicated platform where we explore the unique needs and concerns of solo aging with a focus on empowerment, connection, and proactive planning. I'm your host, Ailene Gerhardt. Today's episode is going to be a little different, a little more personal. I want to bring you inside an experience I've been navigating for the past year, though it's recently become much more time consuming, both physically and emotionally. This episode is about navigating chronic illness. It's about identity. It's about what happens when you, the advocate, the organizer, the educator, becomes the one who needs support. So if you've ever been in that position, or you've had to balance strength and vulnerability, knowledge and fear, this episode is for you. Over the last 8 years, I've been managing a chronic form of anemia. Despite many tests and countless appointments, we've never found a clear source of blood loss. That mystery alone has led to so many appointments, iron infusions, blood work, and periods of extreme fatigue. But then, earlier this year, my health challenges shifted into a completely different gear. In early January, I had a heart attack. It was unexpected, sudden, and extremely frightening. I needed 2 stents placed right away. I've been participating in cardiac rehab since, and that in and of itself has been a physical and emotional journey. Just as I was finding a bit of stability, I was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune condition in April. It affects the blood and causes dangerously low platelets, leading to bruising, bleeding, and the constant risk of something more serious. Since then, I've had 2 separate multi-day hospital stays. I've received transfusions, infusions, and treatments that many people never even hear about unless they're in crisis themselves. My treatment plan has shifted week to week, day to day. For over a month, I had blood work almost every single day. Now I go twice a week and receive weekly infusions. My calendar, once filled with client meetings, presentations, and creative work, is now structured around lab results, treatment reactions, and energy preservation. Navigating this chronic illness has taken over my life in a way I never expected. It has challenged my identity as a professional, as an advocate, and as someone who values showing up for others. And through it all, I've been doing it solo. When you're a solo ager, or when you live alone, illness isn't just a health crisis, it's a logistical one. Who drives you to the hospital when you can't drive yourself? Who cares for pets or waters the plants while you're admitted? Who tracks the instructions from different specialists with conflicting recommendations? Who reads your visit notes to make sure you understand exactly what is happening? There is no built in backup plan. I've received generous and consistent support from my network, both locally and long distance, and I am so grateful for that. People have shown up in meaningful ways, and I don't take that for granted at all. But as someone who lives alone, I still navigate the majority of it on my own. The decision making, the coordination, the managing of symptoms, the in between hours, and the mental and emotional weight that comes with it all. There's something that happens when your identity as a helper collides with your need for help. As a board certified patient advocate, I'm trained to ask questions, gather documentation, organize medications, communicate clearly with providers. But let me tell you something. No amount of training prepares you for what it feels like to be the one in the chair, to be the one whose labs are spiraling, be the one sitting alone in a hospital room, trying to sound optimistic on the phone with a friend while waiting for lab results to be posted. Being a patient strips you down. Even when you have a voice, it can be hard to use it. And even when you do everything right, you bring your records, take notes, prepare questions, sometimes you still leave appointments feeling overwhelmed, unseen, or uncertain. It's not a lack of skill. It's just the reality of illness. It humbles you. That said, I've been very fortunate to have clinicians who listen, who answer my questions, who acknowledge the complexity of what I'm navigating. They don't rush me. They talk to me about how all of this affects my life, not just my labs. They ask how I'm coping. They ask what I'm doing for fun. They ask how I'm taking care of myself. And those moments of compassion, they matter more than I've ever realized. Because here's what's been enforced over this period of time. Being a patient is not just about the logistics. It's about holding on to your sense of self when everything else around you feels completely unstable. It's about staying human in a system that often reduces people to mere data points. That's something I never want to forget when I'm supporting others. And it's something I've come to understand in a deeper, more personal way than I ever thought possible. Let's talk about time and energy. Before this recent health cascade, I had a very full schedule. I had multiple presentations in a week, a lot of client work, some coaching sessions, maybe podcast planning, some writing, certainly meetings. I had control over my time. Now, even a single medical appointment can drain me for the rest of my day. An infusion might go fine, or it might trigger a migraine or nausea or just a day of extreme fatigue. Sometimes I cancel work at the last minute. Sometimes I don't even know I'm pushing myself too far until I've already done it. And here's the truth. That loss of predictability has been one of the hardest parts. Not being able to plan, not being able to deliver at the pace I'm used to, feeling like I'm falling behind, feeling like I'm failing, feeling like I'm disappointing others, not just in work, but in life. But I'm also learning to redefine what success looks like. Some days, success is a clean load of laundry, or making it to and from an appointment, or advocating for myself with clarity, even when I just feel like collapsing. If you're listening or watching this and you've been through something similar, or you're going through it now, I want to say this clearly. You are not less valuable because you need rest. You are not less strong because you feel overwhelmed. You do not owe anyone productivity in exchange for compassion. Illness can isolate us, but shared stories can create connection. So let me share mine in the hopes that it helps you feel less alone in yours. One thing I've thought about often during this time is how we build our own support and care systems, especially if we don't have adult children or other adult family members to rely on. I'm not just talking about emergency contacts or proxy, though those are quite vital. I mean everyday care, the texts, the phone calls, the rides, the offer to go grocery shopping. the food drop offs, the checking in. Solo agers often build networks of support with friends, neighbors, and community connections. But when illness hits fast and hard, it can be difficult to activate those networks or even ask for help at all. I've had to learn to reach out, to be specific, to say, "Can you come with me to this infusion? Can you check in with me the day after this treatment? Can you help me keep track of what the hematologist said?" And you know what? People show up. When we give them the chance, they do. But asking, that's its own skill. And for many of us used to being incredibly, fiercely independent, it takes time to develop. As I close out this episode, I want to offer you a few things to reflect on. Whether you're currently a patient, a caregiver, or simply someone thinking about what it means to plan for uncertain times. What support systems do you have in place, not just for emergencies, but for the everyday challenges of being unwell? How do you advocate for yourself when you're feeling most vulnerable? Who helps amplify your voice when you can't do it alone? Have you practiced asking for help, even in the smallest of ways, so that it feels more natural when you really need it? This time in my life has been challenging in ways I couldn't have imagined, but it's also deepened my understanding of the very work that I do, of what it means to navigate solo and still find strength, support, and meaning in the middle of it all. Take care of yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. And remember, you are not alone. If something in this episode resonated with you, I hope you'll share it with someone who might need to hear it too. You can always visit the Navigating Solo website at navigatingsolo.com to find more resources, podcast episodes, upcoming events. And if you're navigating your own health journey and want to connect, I invite you to reach out. You're not alone in this. Until next time, stay empowered and stay connected. I'm your host, Ailene Gerhardt, and this is the Navigating Solo podcast. Thank you so much for being part of this community.